Milko alongside Miss Shinbu, and this is day 1 of week 4 para sa ating Pro Gaming Stage 2017 Spring Split powered by Backers Energy Drink. Drive your energy. And now, this is the drafting phase.
Yes, of course, ladies and gentlemen, for our second matchup, we gonna claim Empire X versus Emperor Esports, defending champion versus, the challenger of champions. So far. Mula week 2, maganda yung run. Tingnan natin kung magpapatuloy nga ba dito yung napakagandang performance ng Emperor Esports from the week 2. Do take note, guys, that the Penguin Life, ladies and gentlemen, managed to bag in 2-0 against Imperium Pro Team and was the first team to put a dent on the win streak of Mineski League of Legends. Do take note as well that in our drafting phase, aside from playing in the patch 7.3, we are rolling the 10-ban system for competitive PGS. So, what is the 10-ban system, Hugo?
10-ban system is instead of banning 3 champions, we will ban 5 champions. And isa pa kasi maabis ang 10-ban system na ito ay you could either choke a player na maliit ng champion pool or medyo advanced to, but you can stop a team composition midway.
Yes, of course. That is one. Guys, sa mga players natin, sa mga summoners natin,
right now?
Obviously, it won't be locked in though. Get swapped in for a Tristana. But again, going back for the 10-ban system, sa mga summoners po natin for competitive League of Legends pa naman po. Itong ating 10-ban system. It's been around for a regular season dito sa PGS and will continue to do so, more so for the other leagues as well. Antay lamang kayo. Antay lamang kayo for the update on the 10-ban system as, we try to experience what are the consequences and manifestations nitong ating 10-ban system nga. Now, for the draft, AEX versus MP. EMP, mga kaibigan, Emperor. Ayan. So, for the bans, first bans dito ng AEX, you got a Camille, you got a Ziggs, you got a Rek'Sai. Sinagot ng LeBlanc, Twitch, plus the Graves. Now, my thoughts here. So far, our target bans from Emperor Esports onto the key champions here by AEX. Interestingly, they're among the wide champion pool of calculated. What they're gonna remove would be the LeBlanc. Same goes for the wide jungle pool dito ni Tamsu, which is the Graves. Considering, siguro kaya din, hindi siguro, it's very likely that it's because of the lethality changes. Kaya rin inaalis itong ating Graves. Whereas for AEX, yun nga, Camille, still powerhouse pick. They don't want to deal with any of the Ziggs that comes in from high and also the Rek'Sai for the first 3 picks dito. Kha'Zix, Tristana, Bard. Emperor Esports naman, sagot ay Jean, Gragas, and Malzahar. What are your thoughts?
I'm looking into to Gragas kasi alam mo yung 8% increaser from patch 7.2.
Yun na nga
Kasi parang it helps in the sense na mas he gets the most healing pag up yung happy hour.
Okay.
So I am excited.
On the passive.
Yeah, on the passive. We would want to see kung paano nila abuse yun. And we have a Tomkins and a Katarina para sa AEX naman.
Interestingly, guys, makikita po natin na we won't be seeing both of these 2 teams not completing their bans. No, I think 4 bans lamang sila. AEX will be removing the Cassiopeia, and of course, you also got the Zillion ban here as well in the Emperor Esports. Interestingly, we heard news that Endless Ace was planning to roll a Zillion in the top lane. Actually, it's a good pickup talaga for against the Gragas. That's one. It is still possible though na yung Zillion natin na malagay din sa mid lane. I doubt though if it's gonna be on the support position. That's a big question.
Most probably top, well.
Yeah. Also, AEX still running their for their ADC Gen B, picking up the one that lead them to their championship on PGS 2016 summer. Tristana for this ADC. We got a Bard here to be paired by Canon and Calculated. We'll be gambling on this Katarina. Do take note of the last picks natin. Malayo-layo yung pick sa mid lane natin dito ng AEX because it is not Calculated who was playing for the mid lane. Nung last game ng AEX, it was Vanguard, if I'm not mistaken. Endless Ace though, it will be a top catch in the top lane.
Well, when it comes to team fights, I really think makakatulong si Tomkins in the sense na with Malzahar as support, pwede niyang i-stop yun or he won't let Malzahar actually have enough presence in that team.
Hindi biro ang damage na dinadala ng isang Tomkins sa isang team fight din. Even as a frontline tank. Pero there are a series of nerfs really, specifically on the thick skin that made it quite hard really for Tomkins. to, like stay or have a fair share of the leaning phase for the top lane. That's a big question though, especially with the classic matchup. Nakita na ako ng matchup na ganito. Pero pre-nerf Tahm Kench, it's a Shen, of course. Interestingly, I want to review as well na Tahm Kench was buff. Yun nga, yung kit niya leaning more on the support kit, the Abyssal Voyage, but maybe it could be utilized hand in hand with Calculated, delivering the Katarina on the defeat the team fight should ever he is needed. I got a feeling that Acclaim Empire X is running a more riskier comp. A more risky composition dito against Emperor Esports, whereas Emperor Esports, just picking up on the champions na comfortable sila. Look at that. They all have the things that they want here. Burn is quite familiar really in playing this Gragas. Also, Fade with the Ari. We know of that already. And, of course, High as well
Jhin.
on the Jhin. Deuces, so far, he has played the mainstream supports natin, even the Malzahar, and I had no doubts then of his performance on this Malzahar. It's a very interesting lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting matchup. AEX, Emperor Esports, two favorites of our viewers, ladies and gentlemen. Mula Iloilo at mula Manila, ang bagong team. Let's go for Game 1 in this second match for the Day 1 in the Week 4 of the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Split.
Pareha sila may 4 wins and 4 losses. Siya natin kung sino ang mababahiran ang
Oo.
loose numbers.
Pantay-pantay, kumbaga patas kung sa patas.
Atake kung atake. Well, curious ako sa mangyari sa mid lane. You have an Ari na
Mm.
Katarina. Tapos, we all know how Deuces can be a threat pag siya yung Malzahar. So,
Yun
EMP might want to utilize on that.
Pwede din natin i-assume yung mga tanong dito ng mga viewers natin kung yung panalo ng Emperor Esports last week, fluke lamang ba yun? Ayan, nakaswerte nga lang ba o nakachamba? O talagang, ito na yung team. Ito na yung
Nag-level up na.
nag-evolve na. Oo, ayan. May ultimate na yung ating Emperor Penguins
Ultimate
dito. Oo, compared to Acclaim Empire X, it seems that Acclaim Empire X, of course, they had formidable names in their lineup, in their roster. Do take note, this is a champion team. But it seems, on their performance, no, still shaky. It's actually, ang interesting kasi dito sa Acclaim Empire, hindi na tayo nagugulat if ever they had a shaky start talaga. In the
True.
regular season ng PGS, even on the season na nag-champion sila, 2016 summer.
Noon na nga daw, shaky pa lang talaga
Shaky
sila.
din talaga, oo. Tapos biglang
Boom!
naghahabol. And
Champion!
kaya nakakatuwa din tingnan ang Acclaim Empire X because they are really one of the most interesting teams to follow here in PGS.
So, nakakatawa yung mga off-meta yung ginagamit nila
Ay,
at
oo,
times.
isa pa yun. Oo, isa pa yun.
Off-meta is the new meta.
Very curious. Calculated, this is not the first time that he picked up Katarina in this regular season. Didn't quite win really on the first pickup. On his first run on this mid laner, more so that he is facing good mid laner himself, which is Fate. On
He
an
was
Ari.
quite good kahit nung Katarina siya last time.
Ah?
He was quite good kahit nung Katarina siya
Ay,
last time he used it. Okay, looking
May
into
launch na pass lang.
Tamsu as Kha'Zix, well, meron akong naririnig na Tamsu is arguably the best jungler
Mhm.
in the PH. Or arguably lang nga, guys. I'm not saying
Oo.
I'm agreeing, but him as Kha'Zix, super magiging threat yon for EMP. So they have to stop the fact that Tamsu can snowball
I'm
this early in
curious
the
nga
game.
I'm curious. Will Tamsu follow the running meta right now? Kasi in my
Lethality.
opinion, the lethality changes really of the 7.2 patch still manifests itself so well on the cast. Despite the nerfs ng 7.3. My take here is what will be the evolution path of the Kha'Zix. Will it follow the meta of evolving the W and deliver that enough shred, rush the Black Cleaver, provide shred and support in a sense that you reduce the armor of the front line bilang Kha'Zix and sacrifice your defense kasi bumaba talaga yung potential dito when you remove the takes their fear. I mean, takes their fear damage has been reduced. Look at that. There is Tamsu now with the padding. He is in range. Deuces is getting regeneration from the pads. I think that calls for Tamsu to fall back.
Sylvie had so much damage to na kay Deuces and now Tamsu lurking sa bush na yun.
Bird will be the first one to be seen in the top lane. Endless Ace receives the taunt mula kay MJ. Makakatakas nga ba si Kero P dito? Yes, he will.
Nakatakas ang ating mahiwagang Kero P.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to repeat it anyway, so... Going back to the mid lane, calculated versus...
Pumayag ka rin talaga na Kero P yung tawag mo ngayon.
Well, I do kinda agree, so
Tamken
I
siya.
went with it. Kasi well, cute naman kasi.
Oo nga. I think para sa ibang mga lady summoners natin, feeling ko nakukyutan. May iba dyan na nakukyutan kung makaka-receive sila ng flashy.
Ito. So nagpapahiwatig ka ngayon.
Ano naman, merchandise idea lang. For example, isang malaking pillow case or body bag na Tamkench. Full cotton, men. Tapos yung buong katawan mo, pwede mo i-shoot sa loob.
Oh, yung ang ganda nun. Gusto ko yan.
Diba?
Gusto ko idea na yun.
Sobrang diba? Tapos pag
ganun
matutulog
talaga
ka
siya
na,
yung game.
isasara mo na lang.
Oo.
Okay? Sa mga gagawa ng merchandise, you're welcome, guys.
Oo.
Di ko
Credits muna
di ko
kay
na po
Shino.
kayo sisingilin ng royalty or copyright niyan. Sa inyo na yan. Ayan, okay? Okay, so, now, trade up here in the mid lane. Getting the resets, but enough for Fate to flash out!
Sayang.
Receives another Ignite Sig in retaliation as knowing that Calculated receive a third hit, but it's not enough. And it is Calculated winning against Fate.
First blood goes to AEX. We could see na Calculated doesn't think twice putting sa charge. Well, he is Kata, so he needs to have that aggression.
For the mid lane, Katarina tsaka Ari is a battle of skills. Yeah. Walang sigurado na may
Both
laman.
fast hand dapat.
Pero it cannot be denied that pre-level 6, my opinion tells me that ang kailangan mo lang kasi din kay Ari is if playing against a Katarina, basically you just don't get near the dagger. You just don't get near the dagger. But right now, really, we won't be seeing that much fatality in the mid lane. Just because, yun nga, it's very intuitive that these two mid laners will prioritize picking up Negatron cloaks. Oo. So, hindi ganun ka-sakit should ever makaka-receive si Calculated ng lucky hits mula dun sa Q dito, sa Orb of Deception ni Fate.
And let's not forget
and same goes for the Q din ni Katarina.
Let's not forget na Calculated has this tendency na aalis siya ng mid lane to support other lanes.
That's one. Oo. So, actually, these two mid laners, it's very likely we'll be seeing them on the other lanes, trying to influence the other lanes.
For show lang talaga, for formality lang yung nasa mid lane sila sa early part.
Mid lane, something is forced there. Do take note that Calculated did dive Fate there. I think Fate made a mistake that allows Calculated to land a lot of damage really onto him.
Because of that, he handed over first.
Kasi between the two, my opinion tells me that Katarina is poised to have and Ari is poised to have better control of the lane compared to the Katarina. Medyo conditional yung damage dealing ng isang Katarina. Pero ngayon, na may Negatron Globe na sila parehas, depende na eh. Dependehan na yan. Oo. It's a skill fight talaga.
Tristana and Bard, anong masabi mo dun sa matchup?
Tristana and Bard, well, we just think of the Tristana. Low ramp up, but, you know, if ever the Bard managed to land his crowd control, it would be rewarding, really, for the Tristana, especially if he can secure the kills. With that, members of AEX clearly getting spotted there by the ward. And I think they had a sense na, may idea dito.
We were supposed to engage, pero nakita ko, so walk away.
Napansin nila na yung Emperor Esports atras dito. And I think that is too risky, really, especially if you dive in against Gragas. Yep. But right now, guys, 7 minutes into the game, 45 seconds. And for the most part, mga champions natin, they'll be starting to get their ultimates.
Standard itemization. Yeah, you're right. Inintay lang talaga nila magkakaroon sila ng ult bago before they try and start to initiate anything.
Yeah. Do take note though na si Tapsi dito ay level 6 na compared to Bert. And do take note as well that Tapsu is really rushing in for that power farm. Quite a big lead there in terms of minion score. Pagdating doon sa jungle camps nila na nakukuha at na-clear kaagad.
It's like unusual para sa akin yung top pick sa top, especially sa PGS. So, again, well, AEX is known sa pagiging off-meta, but ano kaya gagawin nila to actually maximize that, lalo na pagdating sa team
Parang
fight?
si, Endless Ace, parang napapansin ko yung membro dito ng AEX, pumapasok na sa meta pagdating sa picks nila. Si Endless Ace na ngayon yung nag-embody ng off-meta characteristics ng AEX.
Sa kanya na project yun.
Last time, Veigar, di ba? Veigar top lane with that game-changing flash E combo. And but look at that. Right now, what I want to try to understand is their calculated has an advantage of 1 amplifying tome against the Ari. Malaki-laki yun in terms kapag usapang trade. But really, when you account for the Katarina then, it's a matter of being able to land your all-in effectively and in time.
That is true. Well, itemizations-wise, sa tingin mo, sino yung mas stable for now, this early into the game? Either AEX or EMP?
Well, look at that. Gen B actually has the PF sword on top of the Cull, which looks really nice, especially for Tristana. This is a clear indication na kung wala man clear na lead yung ating Tristana, clearly she is not behind. But do take note as well that lethality works really well, especially on around level 8 onwards. And right now, it's getting picked up effectively by the G. Wow, nice job there by Tamsu along with Calculated. That's how it is done. That's how you dive an Ari. Just deal damage. Had it been may na-receive na, may nakakuha doon ng charm, kahit isa man lang, and get the full combo of an Ari under a turret, and a lucky shot in a sense na kung sino may naka-receive ng charm full combo tapos tinatamaan ng Torre, baka naging 1-1 pa yung engage nila.
Well, sadly, they were able to take down Fade.
So, 2-0 tayo ngayon.
2-0?
Oo, dito.
Actually, natutuwa ako sa change ng map na yun. Parang everything, well, Blood Moon, right?
Ang malungkot lang, kaka-Blood Moon promo natin, hindi talaga natin nakikita yung Blood Moon dito sa Summoner's Rift. Yun lang yung request ko. Sana man lang nagre-reflect man lang sa river, di ba? Nasa na nga ba talaga yung Blood Moon?
Ang dahil mong suggestions ngayong araw, no?
Ha?
Ang dahil mong suggestions.
Hindi ko alam
yung bagong commercial sa Jollibee, tapos yung top cake sa
siguro
Flashy.
yung visit ko sa Raw City na refresh talaga yung mind ko when it comes to, na-miss ko rin yung league din yan. Though, interestingly, I want to observe the bottom lane. Pick up on the Malzahar. Same power still and the threat on the ultimate. And that's how Malzahar should be played naman. But the nerf on the Void Link, again, we've been discussing it with Vulcan 7.3, ladies and gents, na my take here is that mas punishing yung nerf kaysa kay Zyra compared to Malzahar. If you want to nerf Malzahar, I would recommend not on the Void Links. Kasi yun yung harap ng Malzahar, summoner from the Void. But the Malefic Visions, hindi naman siya talaga poison na, hindi naman siya talaga poison dude, di ba? I would recommend that, especially na yung Malzahar support, ang minamax doon ay yung E.
Indeed.
Yung E niya.
Alam ko kasi ngayon, di ba, like, the nerf is, pag malayo na yung Void Link sa kanya, nagsislow down na.
Yes, so, if ever you want to rely on the heavy DOT, or continuous damage that your Void Links deal, you have to be in an unsafe distance. You have to be close to your Void Links as they are close as well. On the enemy, burn. Good time here. Face check by Canon, but be safe. Unang click agad, may ward na laman.
I actually think na minsan pa lang face check ka, that could literally cause you your death.
Yeah, may big,
pag may nag-aabang sa'yo, I'm just gonna face check, oh, okay, I died.
my big question really is that, kung nag-face check doon si Canon, then there's a body slam really. All combo on Canon. I think that could be a kill by Emperor Esports. Pero maybe, wait. Oh, that there's a flash in there by Fade up and flash up ni Tamsu. Tamsu, knowing that he gets the isolation damage, goes for the turnaround. Rather, Shen will be using Stand United to put in shield para dito kay Ari. And again, going back, doon sa bottom lane, I think what allowed Acclaim Emperor Esports, what prompted Emperor Esports to hesitate in making that engage after the face check ni Canon is because they have no vision on the Reaper. Napaka-risky mag-all-in. Kung walang vision
so parang
sa Reaper.
na-take down ni Endless Ace yung ward nila, gano'n.
Well, could be.
Oh, speaking of Endless Ace, narinig ko, sabi niya kanina, gusto daw niya magka-Guinness sa pinakamadaming natanggal na wards daw in one game. He's gonna break his own record.
Talaga? Meaning meron pang mas nakagawa nun.
Hindi, wala. Pero plan niyang i-break yung sarili niyang record.
Yung sarili niyang record, oo. Gawin niyang 100.
Why not?
Alright, so here we go. Jump in there by the Katarina. Burn will join this fight. Ultimate gets cast here by the Mark. Now, it's calculated, receiving one third hit. Managed to kill, though, the crucial ADC here of Emperor Esports. Highest gun, also cannon there. 2-4-1 in favor of Emperor Esports. There are things that are being forced too much here by Acclaim Emperor X.
That is true. And, well, it did cost them 2 members. So kung gusto nila, they should engage pag either nandun na si Tamsu ready for either siya yung mauuna or siya yung mag-support from afar. They have Gen V. Yung kay Tristana, yung buff kay Tristana, nagmamanifest siya sa not later but somewhat before nung mid-part ng game or exactly mid-part ng game.
And aiming for that kind of dive without the Stand United ng Shen natin. I think napaka high risk, low reward niya na engage doon sa bottom lane. But scoreboard natin 3-2 pa rin. 2k gold lead here by Acclaim Emperor X. To take note though that Tamsu really good. His Kha'Zix. Pinapiro yung CS lead niya against Bernie here. Look at that.
Level lead as well. He's 2 levels above kay Burn.
Almost 40. Yes, almost 40 CS lead din. Jungler ang pinag-usapan pa natin dito. And Warrior's Enchantment kasama ang dalawang longsword in the hands of Tanson Dimension, a Ruby Crystal as well, plus the boots. Now, if we're seeing a Ruby Crystal dito, my guess is yes, it's gonna be a rush on the Black Cleaver. Yep. Double, my guess is
Max W?
Evolve W after the Q. Yeah, next on Tamsu. I wanna see Tamsu though ulit. I wanna check if ano yung minax niya first. But it's very likely that, yep, it's gonna be the taster here. Max here by Tamsu. Mukhang na maalam na yung next build or second item, Dust Blade of Draktar kaagad. Or yung Moose Ghost Blade. Rather, that the item to speak right now would be...
Okay, stop. Okay.
Yeah,
Kala ko
Black
sa kanila
Cleaver.
yung recall eh.
Oo nga eh. Ano to?
Well, napakalmado pa ng map natin ngayon.
May-
Nangangapa pa sila. They want that vision
May
tsaka
pagkakalmado
advantage.
pero yung AEX dito talagang rotate sila. Kung rotate puts in the slow onto Burn. Calculated will be getting his resets, jumps in. But this is the main jungle, the blue jungle here of Emperor Esports. Nako, Empire X versus Emperor Esports. Sino ang tunay na Empire? Tingnan natin mga kaibigan. Curtain call under the Ocean Trick. Burn is in range. Who will get the trick? Plants down the CC and Endless Ace will fight him. Not being there to take and put the spike. Ladies and gents, Deuces will put the ultimate. Calculator is still alive. And MJ trying to deal out and tank. Minigay the damage mula sa 4 na membro dito ng Acclaim. Empire X. Shen is doing his job. Puts in the taunt. Cannon gets MJ though. Wala na yung Shen. But Fade is here. He still has enough damage. He is lacking health. And he's receiving hits mula kay Cannon. Managed to kill Genvi though. And in the end, it's still 2-4-3. Endless Ace with the ultimate. Gets punished. But upfront damage of the Jin and the Ari. This spell so bad. 2 of the main damage dealers of Emperor Esports still alive after those engages.
That is true. Again, 2-for-3 trade in favor of Emperor Penguins. Kasi I really like Emperor Penguins. Pag sinasabi yung Penguins, I think they're cute. Pero lethality-based Penguins sila.
Oo, clearly.
And here look at the replay. I actually have my eyes kay Endless Ace dito. Like, sa latter part nito, he does try to charge in and he did try to get a kill but didn't actually went through. But overall, I have to say, maganda yung initiate ng AEX. But Empire, I think Emperor Esports was just a couple of steps ahead of them. See, nakaka-get through sila and they were able to take down 3 champions.
I was curious really yung flash in ni Endless Ace. Why was he not able to land the Devar on Deuces? Ang pinakamaganda nagawa doon ni Endless Ace in my opinion was the Devar on Burn. Really. Burn not accounting as well na pwede siyang alisin sa laro ni Endless Ace. And that moment, napakaganda yung synergy. Tamsu and Endless Ace. After the Devour ng Tamkench, dun mismo nila tinapos din yung Ocean Drake. Commendable Dragon Siege there by AEX, but on the execution of fight, it's a win clearly by Emperor Esports.
Nakita ko nga din like Hai was supposed to hit Endless Ace with this flourish pero nakita niya yun. So,
yep. Pero it should be understand guys na on that position, yes, the one with the more underhanded position would be AEX. Oh, Fade will be forced to use his ultimate. tries to predict the Shunpa of Katarina on that dagger with the charm. But, of
Could
course,
this be a go signal sa AEX kasi they can like, well, Ari without charm and
the ultimate.
yung ult is
Oo.
shaky.
Pretty vulnerable. So that would allow really for AEX to aim for a push here in the mid lane. But look at that. Burn will be in the mid lane turret as well. Rather, AEX will be setting up death brushes.
Nag-aabang lang sila.
Uh,
Tamsin calculated. They're obviously eyeing Burn right now.
Ganda ng playstyle dito ng AEX. Read and engage.
Diba?
Read and engage. But right now, you could see as well na, yep, ito yung improve. Improve Delo. Improve Emperor Esports in a sense na hindi na sila basta-basta nagpe-face check, and they also had a good habit of reading the opponent's movement as well before they actually, you know, take a face check or get into some parts of the map. Yeah.
Sa last few weeks ng PGS, like, EMP and AEX were some of the teams na they had a shaky start. Pero around second, third week, biglang, boom. Like, we have the Master Ball now. Nag-evolve na kami.
Yep. There will be a delay though on the Black Cleaver. Rather, what would be the priority here by Tamsu, knowing na di pa naman ganun ka, wala pa namang Sunfire Cape dito si MJ. There's a good reason baka nga dinelay pa talaga ng pasadya ni MJ dito yung kanyang Sunfire Cape, knowing na pwedeng mag-build ng Black Cleaver anytime si Tamsu. But rather, Tamsu will be building the Hex Drinker in response to this.
And guys, that is the code. Open a new tab, input that code, and again, 5 MG po yung ipapamigay. Sa first 4 links, paunahan po yon. 5th MG will be given to a person na nag-input at least once dun sa first 4 links na hindi nanalo. Bale, at random from that pool.
Search and win promo sa mga summoners natin. Follow nyo na yan. Get into the link, follow the
Wala na
instructions, and yes, you guys will win. Mr. Ito kayo na.
Okay, nauna.
Kayo nauna, of course. Okay.
Kasi mahirap kumaka sa random.
So, right now, call is completed na mula dito kay Gen B. In an instant, we are seeing that shiny Infinity Edge. This will make Vulcan happy. He actually is the one who votes to rush Infinity Edge on Tristana. My opinion tells me na actually wala namang problema kung ano man yung nauna dito. Pero ang favorable talaga, of course, damage. And more so na there's an improved attack speed on Tristana. In a sense na dinagdagan ng 2 seconds yung kanyang rapid fire. One of the 2 only buffs. Hindi pa nga buff yung kay Vladimir, kundi adjustment lamang.
Adjustment lang talaga.
Pero yan, one clear buff among the nerfs.
For
The
that
7.3
nerf patch. Well, yeah, puro nerf nga lang yun. Well, looking naman sa levels, naka-catch up na si Burn. He's only 1 level down. And Cannon is 1 level down compared to Deuces. Ooh. Bard 1 level down kay Mazar. We will see what that will manifest sa later part ng game. And
AEX then, always on the hunt, always on with these rotations. The thing here is that yung rotations nila mismo rin, hula-hula game lamang, but calculated though. Nako.
oh, nakapag-respond agad si
Oo, Now when he get a sight on the fade, Shun goes in. Good thing hindi siya nakakuha doon ng charm, ha? Good thing hindi na nakakuha ng charm doon. So, right now, W puts vision on your enemy. Do take note that there's also the tracker snipe in the hands ng ating Kha'Zix. They have an idea where Burn is. They have an idea that Deuces is near. And also the Ocean Drake would be a stress point and tunnel vision for both of these two teams.
So, well, they had a clash kanina sa Drake, so feeling ko dun din ulis na magka-clash. It is kind of
very likely. Although these two compositions are skirmish comps, so kung meron man, actually, yeah, between the two, Jhin and Tristana, I think a Tristana to lean more on a siege comp, pero Tristana is specifically a hyper carry ADC. Pero ayan, I think it would be beneficial really for AEX, and it would be lovely for AEX if they are able to bag in 2 Ocean Drakes in early parts of this game.
So, what is the most significant change you've seen in the last 10 years?
Ay,
Ang dahil mo sinasabi mo. So, parang miss yun eh. So, I just had to drop that question.
significant change, mga kaibigan. Tayo pa yung tinanong niyan. League of Legends po. Curtain call dito ni Gen B. Does not receive any of the bullet dito ni Hai.
But probably it was just for clear anyway.
Had it been that one bullet connected onto Gen B, spell is doom. Especially na cooldown na yung kanyang Rocket jump! Jelby will escape! No, he won't! MJ is here, puts in the taunt, and also the Sandbar takes damage. Here comes Calculated! May aim for the cleanup! Endless Ace will devour him for security. Uwi muna tayo, Bes. Uwi muna tayo, Bes.
Kalma muna.
Medyo outnumbered tayo, sabi dito, ng AEX, lalo na 4v5 yung nangyayari ngayon sa ating Reaper.
That was a one
in the
for
end,
nothing.
yes, then that allows Emperor Esports bilang bonus na rin para kay Gen V, Ocean Drake.
Baka sabi nila, nakuha namin si Gen B, so we just gotta get this Ocean Drake as a bonus.
Bakit
Ganon.
ka nagpe-face check Endless Ace?
Sabi ko kasi baka may times na po nag-face check ka, yung buhay mo na yung nakasalalay.
Apat lang kayo, 5 sila.
Uy, napapakanta siya, honors.
Kasi, alam mo yun, parang maling decision, mapapakanta ka na lang talaga, di ba?
Akala ko kung wala ka nang maintindihan eh.
Yung mga... Right now, especially wala na ring objective. Wala na ring objective doon na wala na yung Ocean Drake. So, clearly, hindi nyo kailangan magpakita sa harapan ng isang team na kumpleto pa, na may Gragas na may ultimate.
True.
Ayan, okay.
Well, nakita ko kanina, Tamsu's just farming. That's nice kasi he just want to get that snowball effect.
Yes. So, now, understanding the conditions of the map, do take note, guys, na the first blood turret goes into the hands of AEX. Hence, you consider that they have a sizable gold lead against Emperor Esports. This pressure of hunting down members yung mismong, sa mismong jungle mismo ng Emperor Esports. Just punching.
Oh, wow.
And that's how it is
That
done.
was an effort pickup.
Paano mag-massacre ng matandang balbas sarado? Ayan. Now,
Nalasingero.
eto na mga kaibigan, Ninja! Kaya ng bala, walang devour! Wala rin crowd control! And then he managed to use the Flying Thunder Raijin technique. Palayo sa membro dito ng AEX.
Confident siya, alam niya mawawala din siya so hindi na siya gumalaw doon. That's nice.
Nice read on Pamkens. After the final devour, what you just did is, hope for the best really. Stand United. It's actually a big risk na umasa na lang talaga siya makakatakas sa Stand United. That is his only fighting chance. And when I say fighting, his escape chance. Ayan.
Roughly 26 minutes into the game. Sa tingin mo, which champion or which champions should EMP target first? Should they want to do an engage?
EMP? Emperor Esports?
Yeah, kung mag-engage sila, sino yung
Okay, so
priority?
understanding here the sequencing of AEX, makikita natin na yung play strategy nila is utilize Tamsu to have a good vision and establish good vision in the jungle, especially ang daming escape mechanism naman ng Kha'Zix. But right now, ang play style nga ng AEX is just set up traps for Emperor Esports. Pero it won't always be the case, di ba? It won't always be the case. There will come a time na kailangan ng sumugod ng Acclaim Emperor X. But, kung paano man sila sumugod, definitely hindi mauuna doon si Calculated.
Yeah.
So, there has to be one initiator. Among all initiators dito, they have to read, ano yun? It is Endless Ace, Abyssal Voyage, or Canon's Ultimate. Ayan yung mga initiates na hindi maganda patulan. Pero kung ang mag-initiate si Tamsu, they could lock down Tamsu. Use Deuce's Ultimate. So, among all members dito ng AEX and knowing the sequencing of their skills, I would pick, ang unang focus, I would say, ang unang yung i-focus ay si Tamsu, especially during the times that he's trying to establish vision and set up fights for his allies.
Miss G2070 ka na, Miss Garena. Clap, clap, clap.
Ayan, of course, 6K gold lead here by Acclaim Emperor X. Do take note that Gen V will be better than compared to that one European LCS player. First item, Quicksilver Sash. Ito yung kanyang Quicksilver Sash. Third item, pero flash in dito si Tamsu. At ano lang gagawin mo? Unahin mo si Tamsu. Burn gets the kill onto Tamsu. Followed up with the bullets mula kay Jin. Displace pa si Calculated dito. Sarap mag-beer. Sabi ni Burn, double kill. Now chase mula kay Endless Ace. Dala-dala niya si Tristana. Escape, kapatid, escape. Canon, will he do anything antsy here? This is clearly a loss against AEX. But Emperor, they're gonna force this Baron. Do take note that the Bard ultimate is on cooldown. But the Abyssal Voyage is still available. No smite, all odds against AEX. Can they make it? Nasa'yo, Genvi, ang pag-asa. Mag-kite ka, kapatid! Mag-kite ka, kasabi! Tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari. Here comes the redemption. Managed to stay members of AEX, but rather it will be the baton in the hands of Emperor Esports. Gemby will be walking away. Fade will be flashing. Let's see, does Fade have an ultimate?
He
Only a
doesn't.
few seconds.
Oh, eh,
He will not
and now
commit
it's
to it.
up. Wala
Okay.
na.
Okay. He's not gonna force things. He's not gonna force things. Rather, dito tayo kay Kero P. So, ayan.
Goodbye, Kero P.
So, Endless Ace, ladies and gentlemen, Tamkech, the final man standing in the bottom pit from Team AEX, Emperor Esports, clearly with a big win.
And you're right, tama nga talaga na pag ino naman si Tams. Nakita natin na once Tams was on, medyo nag-back away na yung AEX eh.
Main
But,
initiators
yeah.
talaga ng AEX. Ang weird doon kasi nag-initiate sila with Tamsu. Actually, if they know na andyan na siya, paparating na si Emperor Esports, lagyan mo ng ultimate ni Bard, di ba? That's one. Or deliver. Well, you will lose a tank in the front line, pero you could deliver using Endless Ace. Si Calculated in the back line. Here, but you can see here that AEX with 3 members, they still try to at least punish members dito ng Emperor Esports. But the thing here is that minus the Tristana, especially that Gen V is getting isolated by Burn, they clearly lack damage. Look at how Deuces.
So, Burn was targeting Gen V, tas well, nasave na lang siya ni Endless Ace.
Oo. Nice flash, final flash. Pero hindi that mas na-delay pa siya ni Burn dito. That allowed for Fate to receive his ultimate and not go down. But rather, he engaged dito! He calculated! One final hit! And it's Burn going into the tongue of Endless Ace. Endless Ace will be protecting his teammates. He sees all the bullet of the curtain
See?
call.
Ganyan ang Tamkench.
You can see how minimal the damage is, especially from no!
Nice!
Juicy snipe.
Alam ko talaga malapit na matapos yung pag-back niya eh.
Tirador talaga to si Hai. Yan.
Hi, be like, nope, I'ma get you.
I mean, 360 no scope, ladies and gents.
Yes, you know, scope.
Ang ganda. Napakalinis. Nice snipe, ladies and gents. And my take on this is talagang, you know, may isa kasing mechanics sa League of Legends, but all that's on, let's see, as AEX will be on the hunt with 3 members! The ultimate of Tristana will be allowing this gen to escape. So, yep. Anyway, going back dun sa discussion natin, there's a mechanic in League of Legends really that if you receive any damage, lalo pa pag bumibili ka sa shop, mawawala magko-close yung shop screen mo, tapos babalik sa champion mo. Ang problema kasi doon, ano yun ni Jin eh. Yung unang cast ng W niya, ng Deadly Flourish niya, wala pang damage talaga sa'yo. So, walang signal or any hit for calculator that even if his screen is not on his champion, that would allow him to escape that snipe there by high.
Try to protect that turret, pero top inner turret is now down.
And then, ano yung ultimate na yun ni Burn? I think it's the signal fallback, really. They don't want to force things, and yep, the stronger Emperor Esports, the improved Emperor Esports with wiser decisions and, you know, better executions.
Actually, gusto ko how both teams is hindi sila nag-force into stuff, as in, para nag-read through pa lang sila. They want vision, they want knowledge, and alam nila kung kailan yung magti-team pick up. And next Drake will be an Elder Drake.
And there's a lot of damage threat pa rin mula sa AEX. Do take note na for the most part ng larong to, silang may lamang, silang may malaking gold.
And
Right
they
now,
just got an Infernal Drake.
it is just being offset steadily by the Baron power play here by Emperor Esports. But Infernal Drake plus Katarina, bida ang saya.
Wow.
So,
Jollibee pa.
alam mo yun, napakasakit ng nangyari talaga doon kay Kuya doon sa Jollibee. Pero
Mas masakit yung nangyari kay Calculated
Yun-
kanina.
yun-
Kasi
yun-
pa-B na siya eh.
gusto ko
Yun eh.
malaman kung ano yung mas masakit. Yung damage ni Calculated o yung si Kuya Best Friend. Alam mo, Kuya Best Friend, mag-lol ka po. Ayan. Promise.
Happiness.
Promise. Ayan.
Like, kasal na rin naman yung babae. So,
Ayan. So now in this bottom lane, I'm not sure, really, the tankiest champion, the tankiest member of AEX, is that best target really? Tardive! Here we go! Ultimate by Cannon! Ultimation, mga kaibigan! Calculated is gonna be diving in! Let's see! He gets cancelled though! Death Lotus and Fate will be doing work against him! Death Lotus will be delayed pala, pero rather it's too late or calculated. Deuces will be gone, MJ will be gone, and members of AEX will be jumping in and cleaning up. Tristana plus Kazik, Jump Brothers, mga kaibigan! Let's go! Let's hand down the 2 or maybe let's go for the push.
Well, 3-for-1 trade in favor of AEX. Ang ganda nun. Like, kanina, I saw Gen V targeting MJ. Like, habang nagkakandagulo sila, he was just eyeing MJ. Bam, bam. Yung MJ is a Shen, so kailangan talaga mawala muna siya doon.
And that's how it is done. I mean, really, napaka-powerful na initiate tool ng, Tampered Fate ng ating part dito.
As a reward,
Especially kapag tumatakas din yung membro dito ng Emperor Esports. So take note, there's a lot of damage to be brought nga dito ng AEX. They're very capable of destroying towers, especially with Gen V around. Deuces puts in the ultimate onto Tamsu. Tamsu will be returning, gets the kill on the bird, and Deuces, kaya natin natatuan siya dito ng hipon ni Endless Ace. Tingnan natin, Endless Ace will be receiving the top, na si Kraupi, and also the deadly flourish. It's Endless Ace going down, 1-for-1. But the base of Emperor is open now.
I actually like how yung AEX, yung napapasin nilang medyo pababa na yung health ni Endless Ace, nagsuslowly back away na. They don't want to overextend. Ayaw nilang mag-gamble, which is really, really nice. And going back to sa replay na to, well, Burn was frozen there. And Endless Ace, he targeted Burn, did a couple of charge, calculated, did try to help, but again, High got him. Going back sa sabi ko kanina, Gen V was thoroughly eyeing MJ. All attacks yan nandun na. Since it's a Shen, you wouldn't want a Shen left alive sa team na yun.
Yes, and I want to read on Katarina. So he has no flash after that engage. After he should put into a champion, nung umatras siya, hindi niya nasalo yung dagger niya mula sa preparation. So that what spelled out for him. Had it been na nagstay pa siya doon sa gitna ng konti, tapos nakuha niya yung preparation dagger niya, alam ko talaga ng Katarina focus. And yep, I think hindi siya basta-basta mapapatay ni Fade dito dun sa bot lane. And it felt better, way better for AEX with that engage. But right now, ayan nga, parang in the hands of Emperor Esports kanina. Ngayon na nawala na, it's still AEX game. They have the gold lead and they're still dictating this game.
And again, open na ang ang bot part ng EMP, so they might want to watch out.
Oo, tsaka ano na rin, si Antonio dito.
Antonio.
Si Tamsu. I mean, look at that. You will get the Black Cleaver completed. Hex Dringer, Mob Malmortius. On top of that, you also have the Guardian Angel. There's a lot of utility under Tamsu's belt. He's now sitting on level 16. So will be able to get his third evolution.
You know, like,
Puts
kahit
that on the liver.
nandito lang ako, alam ko na talaga nakakainis if you want to try and engage kay Tango. Kasi, well, look at that build. And may GA pa siya. And it's Kha'Zix, man.
Plus the Quicksilver Sash in this team of AEX. Clearly, one by one, they are offsetting they are checking up bawat win conditions dito ng Emperor Esports against them.
Slowly but surely, yun talaga masasabi ko sa game na to kasi roughly 47 minutes pa lang and they're just taking it slow. Objectives, and now, see, they're eyeing that Baron.
Alright, yeah. Zonia's Hourglass, again, as I mentioned, Quicksilver Sash on calculated. He may be lacking in damage, but he is clear. He may evolve into an unstoppable threat with this kind of acquisitions. Let's see if will he get the ideal engage. It's a matter of setting up really right now. Juicy objective available in the map would be the Baron. There's a control ward in the Baron pit by AEX, so they now have the control clearly on this pit. Won't allow any vision for Emperor Esports, and that would require them to get into the river para makalapit dun sa Baron. But while that is happening,
He took down a top turret.
top turret. Look at that. Gen V. 228. Lalo pa, dito mo mararamdaman yung plus 2 seconds. Plus 2 seconds sa rapid fire ni Tristana.
I mean, like, sa ibang tao, ang bilis na ng 2 seconds, but no. It could literally cost you your life pag Tristana yan.
Yung plus 2 seconds sa rapid fire ni Tristana, it's a big buff if you consider the late game of Tristana. In that 2 second, lots of hit can be used there by Tristana. Calculated. Will be shooting. okay, to his ally as members of Emperor Esports would be wise to delay the main damage dealers dito. Rather, they will be trying to engage knowing na walang Tristana sa laban na to. But Calculated is getting his resets to take on Amazonas Arcless pa siya. And that opens up for Tamsu to get a jump and a leap on Ubaid. Now, Tamsu, will he be able to outduel these 2-2-1 and burn? He's not even being able to burn Tamsu. Rather, it would require Turret to deal damage. At dito na si Endless Ace at ang kanyang mga mamon, mga kaibigan, dito sa bottom lane.
Mga mamon.
Hindi, ang labo kasi may nangyayari na sa top, may nangyayari na dun sa, sa mid lane. Tapos, merong bottom lane na nag-split push na Tamkens. Wow!
Tapos may ikot yung masyado sa Nexus turret.
AEX, mga kaibigan, strategy Pilipinas.
Well, literally na all over the map sila.
I mean,
It's AEX, man.
and I mean, when it comes to pushing turrets, hindi ko i-recommend ang Tamkens. Just my take on it. I mean, should be the team fight. Should be with Calculated, really. Especially when things go south, yung Devar mo will serve as a substitute Zonias, di ba?
That is true.
Oo.
Para
Pero,
makasi ng isang teammate, true.
pero it cannot be denied. You know, they're opening up the base of Emperor Esports. Yung South Gate po natin, bukas na. Yung North Gate din po natin, bukas na. Nasaan yung mga gwardiya niyan? Ayan po. Pinapatake ng supervisor nyo.
Tapos kung pwede, siguro mamaya yung mid-gate bubuksan na din natin.
Very likely. Open them gates! Open them gates!
For AEX.
Oh. So, on this game, revisiting again, the win conditions here, which actually falls on the pick comp dito ng Emperor Esports, gets mitigated by the defensive itemizations. Guardian Angel, 2 QSS, isama mo pa yung shield ng Solari, and with the redemption, really. X-Drinker.
I'm smelling a clash.
Ang daming defensive itemizations dito ng AEX. So, right now, Empire X would really have to play reactively. Kaso, ayun nga, kailangan din lang bantayan gaano karami ang ibubuhos nila sa unang mag-initiate dito sa AEX. Obviously, ideally, they will want to catch Tamsu. But right now, because the base of Emperor Esports is on collapse, that would allow AEX to initiate on this Baron. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, you could see that there's a cancel on the curtain call. A collapse will happen. His money secured there by Tamsu. But look at that, Deuce is rather afraid with dealing a lot of damage. Managed to kill Cannon. Highest timing in members of Acclaim Emperor X is stuck on the speed. And Calculated will be doing short work. Mula doon, papunta kay High. And also, to the rest of the members of Emperor, triple kill, the mid laner of Acclaim, Empire X, and Endless Ace will be the one to finish this game in style. So dinami-dami ng pwedeng tumapos ng laro.
Napakasasi naman ng Kero na yan.
Paano kung pinanalo to? Dinilaan ko yung Nexus.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, Endless Ace finishes the game. It's a victory for Acclaim, Empire X.
Endless Ace for you guys.
Okay. Wow. Well, before... There was a time, really, that Emperor Esports has a control of that game. And that is the time of the Baron Pit. Had it been that they take more riskier engage or force something with that Baron Pit, with that Baron power play, especially with the Baron buff in their hands, siguro hindi umabot sa point na kung ano man yung lead na nakuha ng AEX early on, na ituloy nila sa later part ng game. Ang interesting lang doon is normally, ang mga players natin sa League of Legends, when you have the lead, you pick up the offensive positions. Pero dito, AEX, what they did is, by default, they trust their comp and they understand na yung lead natin, i-invest natin sa defensive positions. Kasi, itong mga items na to, GA, QSS, X-Drinker, direct counters for the kit of Emperor Esports.
So that means na kahit nasa lead na nga sila, they don't wanna gamble much. But it did earn them their victory. So GGWP, AEX won.
Yes, nicely done there by AEX. But of course, commendable rotations there by Emperor Esports. My guess is that my next recommendation for their game 2, I think Emperor Esports is very capable of doing this, is that pick up a comp na mas maraming options, mas maraming win conditions compared dun sa pick comp nila kanina. Maybe something that would require setup, something that would allow them to get control, get better control of the vision, right now, despite the nerfs, there's another way of playing Kha'Zix and still working so well.
Galing, di ba?
Actually,
Nandun pa yung presence niya eh.
More team play Kha'Zix ngayon eh, kasi, you know, putting the tracker snipe and max your W, you get visions. And I think there are certain mistakes then by Emperor Esports face charity that traps and that rushes na siniset up dito ng AEX.
Tapos I like how kanina, di ba sabi mo, you don't recommend Tamken as the one being on the base. But no, Endless Ace be like, ako tatapos ng Nexus na to.
Well, of course, nakakatawa din kung ano yung diskarte nung Tamkins dito na Endless Ace. I'm curious though what will be the next top laner in his hands. Game 1 pa lamang po yan, ladies and gentlemen. We still have our final game for this match 2. Do take note that this is a Claim Empire X victory to take, but Emperor Esports is still a formidable team to watch out. So let's see, what can they do? What will they do? Kami po yung naging shoutcaster for this game. Ako po si Shinbu with a 1 for an eye. At kasama ko po syempre si Yugo. Day 1 of Week 4 for the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Split powered by Bacos Energy Drink. We'll see you guys on the next game. Deuces will put the ultimate calculator is still alive! And MJ trying to deal out and tank binigay na damage mula sa 4 na membro dito ng Acclaim Empire X. Shen is doing his job, pushing the taunt. Cannon gets MJ though, wala na yung Shen. But Fade is here, he still has enough damage. He is lacking health and he is receiving hits mula kay Cannon. Managed to get Jetty though, and in the end, it's still 2 4 3. Endless Ace with the ultimate gets punished without the damage of the Jean. And the rocket jump! Jelby will escape! No, he won't! MJ is here, pushing the taunt, and also the Sandman takes damage. Here comes Calculated! May aim for the cleanup! Endless Ace will debar him for security. Muna tayo, Bes. Medyo outnumbered tayo sa double kill! Now change mula kay Endless Ace! Dala-dala niya si Tristana. Escape, kapatid, escape! Ganon. This is clearly a loss against AEX. But Emperor, they're gonna force this Baron to take note. The hard ultimate is on cooldown, but the Abyssal Voyage is still available. No smite, all odds against AEX. Can they make it? Nasa iyo, Genby, ang pag-asa. Magkain ka, kapatid! Magkain ka, kasabi! Tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari. Here comes the redemption. Managed to stay members of AEX, but rather binabaran in the hands of Emperor Esports. Genby will be walking away. Wait, will be flashing. Let's see. Will wait only a few seconds. Will not do it again. He's not gonna force it. He's not gonna force it. Rather, kay Kero. So, Edge, they're very capable to start first, especially with Genby around. Deuces puts in the ultimate onto Tamsu. Tamsu will be returning, gets the kill on the bird, and Deuces. Kaya tinatapuan siya dito ng hipon ni Endless Ace. Tingnan natin, Endless Ace will be receiving the top, the touch of LP, and also the deadly flourish. Endless Ace will be trying to engage, knowing na walang Tristana sa laban na to. But Calculator is getting his reasons, looking for the Exodus Art kasi pa siya, and that opens up for Tamsu to get a job in the leap on the way. Now, Tamsu, will he be able to outduel his 2-2-P1 and Bird is not even being able to Tamsu rather into the Cruncher and deal damage. At dito na si Endless Ace at ang kanyang mga mamon, mga kaibigan, dito sa bottom lane. Nakabawa ng mga mamon. Hindi, ang labo kasi may nangyayari na sa top, may nangyayari na dun sa, sa sheet on this Baron. Let's ladies and gentlemen, you will see that there's cancel on the curtain call. A collapse will happen. Spanish security by Tamsu. But that loses standard frame with dealing a lot of damage. Managed to kill Cannon. Highest timing in members of Acclaim Empire X stuck on the speed. And Calculated will be doing short work. Mula doon, papunta kay High. And also to the rest of the members of Emperor. Triple kill the mid laner of Acclaim Empire X. And Endless Ace will be the one to finish this game in style. So dinami-dami na pwedeng tumapos ng laro.
Napakasasi naman ng Kero na yan.
Paano kung pinanalo to? Dinilaan yung Nexus.
Well,
Ladies